Sir, thank you so much for making time for us. Now, given the current India-Canada face-off and the diplomatic spat, will going to Canada for higher studies be difficult for Indian students?
I think, Paramesh, for answering this question, we need to put things in perspective. If you look at Canada, over the years, you have seen an exponential increase in number of students applying to Canada. Why is that? A, is a very friendly nation. They welcome you with open arms. Two, lots of facilities for research and extracurricular activities. Number three, job opportunities are tremendous. And fourth, the attraction is to get that permanent residence to settle down in Canada. As a result, Canada has become a very popular destination in the last 10 years I've seen in India. But lately, because of the political fallout, a lot of people have been asking me what is going to happen in Canada. I still believe it's a hiccup. I think things will improve. If I talk to students at the ground level in Canada, they're extremely happy. The political fallout has not impacted them at all. I think we read more about it in our papers out here, so we feel that the impact is there. But answering your question, as students are now getting ready to apply for next year, there is a bit of apprehension. Parents and students both are concerned that what will happen. Will the visa come on time? Will we get there? Will our children be welcomed out there? Will we get a job after that or not? These are apprehensions. But I think in spite of all these apprehensions, people are still applying. There may be a slight drop in applications, but people are still applying because Canada is a very favored destination. So what they're going to do is they're going to apply. There may be a small drop, but they'll have a wait and watch attitude. And sometime by May, June, when the decisions come out and see what the political scenario is, I think then they will take decision. But I don't see a major drop in application to Canada at all. I think on the contrary, people will still apply to Canada. And I think what I must give credit to is the Canadian universities. The admission directors have really reached out to students and parents, both through emails and seminars, and made them very comfortable. Look here, this is a hiccup. It's not impacting college life at all. So please do apply. I think parents eventually want assurance, and that assurance is coming from the Canadian colleges. So I really honestly don't feel there's going to be too much of a change, believe me. But yes, people will talk about in the cocktail circuit, what should we do, what we shouldn't do. But eventually when it comes to our applications, people will still apply, but have a wait and watch attitude and see whether the visas are coming in time. If they do get the visas, they'll definitely be going.
Mr. Doshi, but if not Canada, then where else for Indian students? We know the United Kingdom, the United States and Australia are popular choices. But do you see students branching out beyond these options to, let's say, Europe and other countries?
No, if you look at overseas education, I would say between USA, Canada and UK, they must be taking 90% of students who are going overseas today. And the balance 10% would have gone to Australia, maybe to Europe, to Singapore, to Hong Kong, to Dubai. But still, I believe things are not going to change so rapidly that people will be looking at other countries. But yes, people are looking at other countries. To some extent, Europe is getting a little more popular right now because of the cost, very friendly. But Europe has its disadvantages of being a little more insular. In college, you study in English, but outside it's in a foreign language. Number two, the networking in European colleges has become a bit of a challenge because, again, it's populated with the local population out there. So that does become a challenge. And eventually, when you go to college, you also go for the networking, isn't it? You also go for the whole atmosphere out there. This is sometimes a bit of a challenge in the European colleges. But in Europe, Netherlands is becoming quite popular. France is also getting out there. Germany, for people who want to do technical education, looking quite popular. But it's not really exponentially increased what you see in other countries. Today, when you tell me you want to go overseas, as I said, 90% will go to USA, Canada and UK. And if students will not go to Canada, they will look at UK as a very serious option because for two reasons. One, in UK, the cost is as much as Canada. It's not as expensive as America. Two, you finish in 3 years. And two, the job placements in UK are fabulous now. I think the whole scenario has changed with the new visa regime. So UK is going to become a very strong destination. USA will increase, but USA is a very expensive education, the private colleges. But there will be increase in US admissions also. People are going to play safe now. They will apply to Canada, but will also apply to colleges in USA and UK. And a few of them will also apply to college places in Singapore. Singapore is a good destination to go to. The challenge in Singapore, you have limited colleges. You've got SMU, NUS, and NTU. So there are too many choices out there. So Europe does become a destination. But when I say Europe, actually it's going to be more of UK. UK will definitely see a substantial increase of applicants applying out there because of the positive impact of the visa regime out there. more and more people have been looking at UK over the last 5 years, which is not the case before the new visa regime set in. So I don't think new countries, they will see upsurge, but not as substantial as UK will see and Canada will see. But believe me, Canada will not have a drop in applications. It will be a wait and watch review and take a decision by next June, July.
Right, sir. Then for students already in Canada, what's next? You've already mentioned that this diplomatic row has not penetrated classrooms, thankfully. Is it going to be difficult for Indians to get jobs in Canada?
Honestly, this is something that we feel in our minds this is going to impact us. I think the Canadians have not taken this. I don't think the political situation has impacted recruitment out there because they all know the Indian students are hardworking. Academically, they have been very strong. So they do become attraction for every company to take them. So I honestly don't believe this political fallout will impact employment at all. And I don't think companies even go down to that level to say, oh, because of this fallout, will not take you. I think Canadians are very magnanimous. At a ground reality, if you look at just remove the political fallout, I think students will always be welcomed out there. They'll be very happy out there. I don't think the job placement is going to be impacted. It's all in our minds right now. I think as things settle down, people will see that really it has not impacted employment at all. It will not impact employment because Canadians are very fair. And you'll see, if you go to Canada, you'll see how fair they are and how welcome they are. Even today, I had somebody visiting Canada say it's just like a normal country. Nothing has happened. Nothing has changed at ground reality.
Well, as it should be. So further clearing the air around the ground reality in Canada, then should students in Canada apply elsewhere for jobs after they finish their studies?
The question is where? You require visas to study in any country, isn't it? So you're going to get a visa to USA or to UK to go and work out there. Honestly, I've been telling students for the last year or two, come back to India. You can't get a better place in India. Why should they work anywhere else? India is a happening place today. This is a place for students to come back to. And if you really want to go back to Canada, maybe work for a year or two out here and go back for your postgrad degree there. Hopefully by then, situation will be much better, I'm sure, and you'll get the jobs that you want eventually out there. So I don't think we should take a knee-jerk reaction. Jobs will be good out there. If they don't, come back to India, young people. This is where the action is for the next 10, 15 years.
And sir, you think employers often look favorably at candidates who've completed their education at prestigious institutions abroad?
Not at all. I think our Indian colleges have come of age. Look at the marvelous college that we have in this country, from Ashoka to Kriya to Flame to NMIMS. They're fabulous. I mean, and the IIMs, the IITs. So if you ask any recruiter in this country, given a choice, if you have two students, one from overseas education, one from India, they'll always prefer Indian one. Why? They're more adaptable. They're more malleable. And they're able to fit into the whole working system out here. So that's why when students go abroad, I tell them, go there for the education. Don't think you'll have any distinct advantage when you come back to this country. Yes, you'll have a good education, but you'll be on par with any other student who's gone to a good Indian university. So the advantage of going abroad, which was there maybe 20 years ago, I think with our coming of age in the education system, I think they will be on par or to some extent, slight 55-45 preference to other Indian students. Talk to recruiters. They'll tell you the same thing. We prefer a student from here than going overseas. But going overseas is not necessary to have an advantage out here. It's for the education, the overall holistic education that you get when you go overseas.
Well, Mr. Doshi, as we wrap, your parting shot for all those students watching who may be interested in or prepping for the college applications to study abroad this year.
I would say keep your doors open. Don't restrict yourself to one particular country. Let's see how things evolve. Canada will not change. It will be as same as it is as before. Please apply everywhere. Keep your doors open and take a call sometime in April, May next year when situations hopefully will improve and you get all the results coming in.
Well, as always, thank you so much, Viral Doshi, for joining us on NDTV.